here in this stadium, in terms of wind, are very hard for anybody who's looking at the court to quite pick up exactly what the wind is doing. You can look at flags up on top, it's completely different on the court. From our view here in the corner, we're protected here, so we don't always have a feel for the wind. You have to kind of be aware that the players may struggle here and there with the effects of the wind. It's been a problem in the last couple of days. It certainly was for Stefan Edberg last night in his losing match. Chang serving the first point of the match.
Love 15.
Tony talked about Michael's improved serve. He's had 23 aces in this tournament so far, to say 13 for Andre Agassi, just by comparison. Serving at 51% on his first serve, which is good but not great. But obviously, with only 4 double faults, that service with 23 aces has become a weapon.
He's already in trouble, though, because his serve, though improved, is not nearly the weapon as Agassi's return game.
Talk about Chang's serve. Last year, 93, he served 256 aces in 85 matches. This year, 264 aces in just 66 matches. So he is serving better.
Three break points for Andre Agassi, and I guess it's safe to say, as we look at Chang's improvement on his first serve, 73% of first serve points won this season. In going back to Agassi, it's acknowledged that he's the best returner on the men's tour. A couple of guys might be pressing him in that category, but players feel he's number one. Agassi pulls in with a volley.
Take another look at that last point. From inside the baseline, a penetrating two-hander, and this part is really easy. He actually overplays it a little bit on the volley with too big a swing, but a very impressive start for Andre Agassi.
Hello, Mr. Amatsu. You know your shipment is ready.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, sir. I just have a question about custom regulations for your country. Do I need an import license, a certificate of origin, 525V, or what?
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Could you hold?
All you gotta do to simplify international shipping is use FedEx.
Mr. Amatsu? Yes, sir. I'm fine. We're all fine.
My next computer's going to be incredibly powerful. I mean, I want to hear Hail to the Chief every time I turn it on.
Introducing the powerful Value Point Performance Series from IBM. When I'm at a hotel, I don't want to go down to the front desk to get my faxes. I get them in my room, in my bathrobe. Introducing the ThinkPad 360 with available fax modem from IBM.
Innocence is dead.
Do you mean we're all guilty, original sin, that sort of thing?
Innocence the maid. There was a time when the British ruled the world.
You must think of us Africans in simplistic terms. Yes. Oh, no, I mean...
But times are changing.
Kinjata!
Now, one man is going to open their eyes.
What were you doing?
You aren't talking to me, are you, Sonny? Sean Connery, Colin Friels, A Good Man in Africa, rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
Andre Agassi at 15 love here. Game 2 of this best 3 of 5 set match. Round of 16. Men's championship of the U.S. Open.
Agassi has come out of the block so quickly, much better than Chang, who had 2 unforced errors in that first game and couldn't get in a first serve. Agassi's playing great.
Won the first 6 points of the match.
Yep.
Agassi made a good decision, too, to start this match. He won the toss and elected to receive, so he took a crack at Chang's serve and broke it at love, so he's got an initial start. Here's the first point that Chang wins in this match. Just caught Agassi flat-footed. Surprised him a little bit. You know, I mentioned that Agassi won the toss and elected to receive. A lot of people do that if they're not big servers, and Agassi is, as Mary mentioned, a better returner. And also, it gives you a game to get settled in if you're a little nervous, and even if your opponent holds his serve, you're not in any worse shape.
Still hasn't gotten in a first serve.
Andre Agassi's road to this 4th round. Robert Eriksson of Sweden, Guy Forget of France. Lost a set there, struggled a bit, but came back to win it in 4. And then blasted number 12 seed Wayne Ferreira out of the tournament.
This is how Michael Chang got to this position. Straight set win, and then a pretty good 4-setter against Malavia, Washington. And then Jim Grab, who's come off a shoulder surgery, had to retire in the middle of the 2nd set. That can really help Chang a lot because it conserved a lot of energy for him. He hasn't really had to work that hard.
Match, I think, between these two. If Andre Agassi is willing to work a point this well before going for his big shot, he's got a real good-looking chance.
And you see both players standing in, going toe-to-toe. Neither is stepping very far away from the baseline, and that last forehand pays off for Agassi.
3 break points again for Agassi, already up a break. Tremendous rhythm on his ground strokes in that last exchange. He's done it again, a 3-love lead. Up 2 breaks is Andre Agassi.
The New Faces, sponsored by Mass Mutual. In the last 8 months, 20-year-old Yevgeny Kafelnikov has won 3 tournaments. As a result, his world ranking has rocketed from 104 to 11.
I feel no pressure at all because, I played 3 Grand Slam tournaments already. I have a good experience.
His meteoric rise makes Yevgeny Kafelnikov one of tennis's new faces to watch.
I promise to teach you the value of standing up for what you believe in. promise I'll remember it's never too early in the day to eat ice cream. A promise to watch over you, now and always. To help keep their promises, people rely on Mass Mutual to ensure their lives, their health, and their financial future. Mass Mutual, we help you keep your promises.
Most luxury cars are assembled with spot welds. But for the J30, Infiniti adopted a process called weld bonding that bonds entire seams. Over time, flex and stress can cause looseness and rattles, but when the entire seam is sealed, body flex is reduced for a strong, quiet body that lasts longer. Visit your Infiniti showroom.
Back on the stadium court, Agassi serving 15 love here in Game 4. He is up 2 breaks. Michael Chang has scored only 1 winning point through the first 3 games and 1 point here in the 4th.
Agassi hasn't made 1 unforced error yet.
Pretty hard, guys.
Yes, they are. It's a slugfest.
Looked like 2 prize fighters, neither one getting away from that baseline, and it just ripping these ground strokes. Marvelous tennis.
Golden volley.
Finally lost a loose one, Agassi. Yeah, that says a lot about his frame of mind if he's willing to serve a volley this early in a match.
Well,
he was also up 40 love.
Yeah.
Might have something to do with it.
But that's still, you know, it's a kind of indication of his confidence level. Mary Pierce up a break in the second set against 17-year-old Eva Maioli.
Earlier, Pat O'Brien asked Steffi Graf and what she's afraid of. I think she's very concerned about Mary Pierce.
A routine win for a 4-love lead by Andre Agassi. Agassi now 15-5 in Grand Slam events since winning Wimbledon. A quarterfinalist in '93 at Wimbledon since that time, and the U.S. Open in '92.
Nicely done. Helps to get your first serve in, and that's only the second first serve Chang
15 love.
had gotten into the box.
He had to hit heavy topspin on that because it was so short and so low. Agassi's attempt at the topspin lob didn't come off for him.
Love.
I agree with you, Tony, that Pierce would be cause for concern for Graf, but she just handled her pretty easily at the Canadian Open a couple of weeks ago. On a hard court surface, she straight setted her. And that would be in the semis. That would be some matchup.
Pierce has those heavy ground strokes, and we saw her just demolish her on the clay at the French.
Killed it.
Finding his rhythm on the ground strokes. Interesting his assessment of this matchup today. He said, you know what, there is a pecking order among the 4 young American players, and now throw in Martin into that mix, Todd Martin, but he was referring to Sampras, Chang, Agassi, and Tim Courier. They came up together. And so when they face each other in big matches like this in a Grand Slam event here in the U.S., it does mean a whole lot more.
14-15.
in the top 20 right now. Sampras, of course, #1 in the world. Chang 6. Todd Martin, who's snuck into that group, kind of a late starter among the young Americans. Northwestern University. He's had 2 years. Left from Chang at 113 miles per hour. His first ace on the board.
Still working with prehistoric copiers? Get the copier that earned Buyers Lab's highest rating for uptime, Meta. For a more productive future, the times demand Meta.
If you only knew how your bathroom felt about germs and soap scum, you'd use Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner. It wipes out tough soap scum and cleans so deep down it even disinfects. Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner. Deep down, you know it's clean. You used to have to drag a shampooer home to clean high-traffic areas and do the whole carpet with all the hassle, the wetness, the waiting. Today, there's Resolve High-Traffic Carpet Cleaning Granules. Just shake on, brush in. Sponge-like granules absorb the dirt. Later, vacuum clean. Resolve High-Traffic Carpet Cleaner.
This is Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner with a thick formula so powerful it's like having a brush in a bottle.
Oh, that's better! Is the coast clear? Yeah! Look out!
This kind of power makes cleaning your toilet easier than ever before. Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner. It's like having a brush in a bottle.
To everyone facing rising costs of doing business, come in under America's umbrella, where our commercial insurance program has helped save companies over $300 million. The Travelers Insurance Companies.
Tim Ryan with Mary Carollo, Tony Trabert on the stadium court at the U.S. Open. Andre Agassi serving at 4-1. Chang starting to get his rhythm going and finding those corners.
Little anger in this overhead by Chang. All he had to do was really bun it in the court, but he's been pushed around a little bit to this point, and he said, I'm mad, and you can take that.
15-0.
Mary Pierce up 3-1 now in the second set with a set in hand over Eva Maioli. Tony, I guess in any discussion of good returners, we've acknowledged Agassi as being #1 rated by his peers. Where does Chang fit, do you think, in the top group?
Well, he's certainly in the top 3 or 4, probably.
Agassi holding handily.
Agassi is much more aggressive on his initial return to serve, and he has a terrific high-end coordination, and he can just hurt you right off the bat when he's playing well. And at the moment, he's obviously seeing the ball real well, and I'll be interested to see what Chang does to try to change this flow of things, whether he softens up a little bit, whether he hits some bloopers and some of those things, to try to change the pace of this match, because at the moment, Agassi's got the best of the ground strokes and slugging it out with him. Absolute rocket.
Chang started in on that approach. Lovely pass.
I want you to see where Agassi is when he makes his passing shot. He's a good 2 yards, 2.5 yards behind the baseline. Watch that shoulder turn. That's how you get that racket head traveling. He really nailed that two-hander.
earlier, Agassi leads 5 matches to 3 over Michael Chang, but Chang has won 3 of the last 4. So again, that kind of assertion of dominance, the pecking order, seems to be at work here in this match today, because Agassi is clearly trying to take the place of Michael Chang.
It's so rare to see opponents hit cold winners against Chang. He's so fast. He usually at least gets a racket on the ball. Andre Agassi, what Chang does is he all of a sudden he goes into the short court, and the angle is what beat Agassi. They'd gone length to length until he finally found a better angle.
That two-handed backhand, that upper hand, and they able to snap that racket head through a little more quickly if you have to, and that's what Chang did to get that ball back cross court.
Loose forehand from Chang, and a break point for Agassi.
Set point.
Set point.
Wide. Well, both players starting to walk off. Oh, that had to be close. Brooke Shields saying, wow. First in the
115-mile-an-hour serve that was on the last point from Chang. And Agassi absolutely drilled it back using the pace. And a double fault. First for Chang, another set point for Agassi. To Andre Agassi. 23 minutes.
I am made of blue sky and golden light, and I will feel this way forever.
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5. Of all your choices, Rembrandt is the toothpaste clinically proven to actually whiten your teeth, remove plaque and stains, and reduce tartar. Your teeth not only feel clean, they are clean. Rembrandt toothpaste for healthy gums and whiter teeth.
Fooled you. Now see if you're any better at guessing which is the real thing and which is Hitachi Ultravision. Too tough to call? That's because of Ultravision's Ultra Clear, Ultra Sharp, and Ultra Bright picture.
Hit it! Okay! Ultra Clear! Ultra Sharp! Ultra Bright! Ultra Vision!
Maybe she wants my autograph.
Maybe!
Yeah! Ultravision. Only from Hitachi.
Goodyear announces all Wranglers on sale for pickups, 4x4s, and vans. And that's not all. Save 25% on selected passenger and performance radios. Sale ends September 17th at participating Goodyear retailers.
Labor Day burgers. You can get them here at the U.S. Open along with some outstanding tennis. We're seeing a great performance by Andre Agassi. First set, 6-1 over Michael Chang. Social note, we should point out for those of you who haven't been reading the social pages, Brooke Shields, the actress, is indeed dating Andre Agassi. That's why we showed you her picture. I bet you'll see her again. Just missed the corner. Mary Pierce up 5-2 in the second now, serving for the match to move into the quarterfinals in women's play. Headed to a semifinal matchup against Steffi Graf.
15-0. That first set victory for Agassi bodes well for him if you like history and facts. And when these two guys have played one another, the person who's won the first set has won 7 out of their 8 matches. And Agassi's 21-1 at the U.S. Open after winning the first set. So it's a pretty good record.
Speaking of numbers, Tony, 81% on his first serve for Agassi in the first set. And Chang, we talked about his improved service, served at only 33%.
Part of that could be the respect he has for the Agassi return, figuring he has to really force that serve in there well because Andre returns so well.
First game, second set. Andre Agassi up a set, unseeded in the tournament. Number 6 seeded Michael Chang, his opponent. With a big serve from Andre Agassi, Chang could never recover.
And now, this tournament summary sponsored by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
Say goodnight, for the light of the daytime is gone. The moon may be bright while you slumber through the night. You can hear low but clear.
Presenting World Business Class from the Global Alliance of KLM and Northwest Airlines.
You didn't get your hand in it. Well, where am I going to get the hand? Let me sit. I told you that was hard. You're not doing it right. Don't goof up, man.
Still working with prehistoric copiers?
Uh-oh.
Get a Mita. Every Mita copier buyers lab tested earned their highest rating for uptime.
You're going to drop the page? I'm not going to.
For a more productive future, the times demand Mita. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
And now, this tournament summary sponsored by Northwest Airlines. Some people just know how to fly.
Drop into the quarterfinal, having lost only 13 games. Stefan Edberg, beaten last night by another Swede in the wind here. Gigi Fernandez, Jana Novotná, they are in 3 events still remaining in the tournament. Separately, we might add. 2 women who are having outstanding U.S. Opens in 3 different categories. This is game 2 of the second set. love. On the grandstand court, Mary Pierce has advanced to the quarterfinals, 6-1 and 6-2 over Eva Maioli. Doing the autograph thing. Congratulations to Mary Pierce, a factor the rest of the way here. In the women's draw, Michael Chang at 15 love. 1 love, 1 in a set. Right on the line from Michael Chang. Pretty loud.
13 love.
So Pierce will now face Jana Novotná. Steffi Graf meets Amanda Kutzer of South Africa. Down below, Sabatini and Gigi Fernandez, Kimiko Date, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
A lot of talent in those remaining players in the women's side. She had some terrific matches.
I'm just telling you, that ball's clearly long. You should be able to overrule that kind of ball.
Up from the chair, 2 points for me.
Well, that dialogue said it all. We heard Michael's point of view.
That's Michael Morrissey.
Great Britain. The rules state that if it's not a clear mistake, the umpire does not overrule, and he said it's too close for me to overrule. No more argument.
I like Chang's feistiness there, however. That bodes well for the spectators and the television viewers.
Here's another
look
at
fight.
it. Yeah, pretty tough to tell.
Chang is finding his rhythm.
14-15.
It was all Agassi in the first set.
He threw in that floater, but Agassi took it early, didn't let it get up too high on his relationship to his body.
15. Chang. 1-all second set. In the players' box, the Chang contingent, his brother Carl there on the right in the front row. His father Joe behind him in the hat, just with the water bottle. Agent Tom Ross in the middle. Mom to the left of the agent. They've got the agent surrounded today. Did you notice that?
And I think that was her uncle sitting in the front row as well.
Handles the heat.
Little change of tactics by Chang, starting to come in a little bit more. This was, I think, a bit of a miss hit right there. Good hands by Chang. Notice he didn't take a swing at his blocks. This was not hit as well. That one right there. But he'll take it.
More aggression from Michael Chang. He's been dictated to. That very quick first set. Now he's trying to hit his way into the match, take more charge. This is his first good-looking shot at breaking Agassi's serve.
Three break points for Michael Chang. I have a feeling we're going to be here for a while, folks. That's what everybody wants, me and Coach.
15-14.
Two great points saved by Agassi.
Love 40 is gone.
Someone else could use a towel, huh?
Taking it on the chin, too. Love 40 to deuce.
Big serving from Agassi out of the hole from Love 40. 79% on his first serve. Through the first set at 6-1. Here at 1-all in the second.
If you're just getting 31% of your first serves in, so I might as well spin the thing in to start the point. That's a very, very, very low percentage for any server.
Not only that, Tony, but Agassi likes facing pace on serve.
Sure.
He'll turn it against you.
He did that in the first set on the ground strokes as well.
So it's not worth Chang's while to keep going for low percentage first serves. Agassi likes it anyway. And once again, Agassi has gained point. This for a 2-1 lead.
Watch how he jumps all over this in early preparation. And they like the inside out, those Western grippers, because they get more pace on it, less spin.
Agassi from Love 40 down. Has a 2-1 lead in the second. We'll return to the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.
Take a look at The Late Show with David Letterman. See what all the excitement's about. Weeknights on CBS.
He's one half of Chicago's toughest detective team. And he's the other.
Hey!
Together, they're heading due south September 22nd. This is CBS.
Hi, Bob Bannon from Hart Nissan in Hartford. You remember Patrick. We've done a lot of things in the past to get your attention. Bugs, possums, even aerial theatrics. Well, Patrick has decided that we need a more conventional appeal. He feels that Hart Nissan doesn't have to stoop to the kind of sophomoric demonstrations we've shown before. Instead, Patrick wants you to know that Hart Nissan in Hartford always offers you the best service and the lowest prices. Isn't that right, Patrick? Hart Nissan in Hartford. It's time to expect more from a dealer.
Channel 3 presents Portrait of a Kitty. You could capture your precious kitty cat on canvas in an original Farwell. Fancy Feast gourmet cat food and renowned artist Lawrence Robert Farwell want to paint you the perfect picture of perfection. So trot right over to your nearby Stop and Shop to register. Your darling cat might just win a year's supply of Fancy Feast and a portrait in oil. Get your little darling all prettied up and hurry to Stop and Shop to enter Channel 3 and Fancy Feast's Portrait of a Kitty contest.
Storm Tracker, the Channel 3 New England Weather Service.
Blimp view of the Lady in the Harbor. We are at the USTA National Tennis Center Stadium Court for this men's round of 16 matchup between Michael Chang, the number 6 seed, Andre Agassi, in line with Murray Carollo and Tony Trabert. Agassi, seeing himself with a 6-1 victory in the first set. And a 2-1 lead here in the second. Michael Chang serving. Michael Chang, who can forget that fabulous effort against Paul McNamee, 15 years old at the time. Everybody said, wow, I think we have a young American talent in our hands here. Going on to win the French Open, of course. After that distinction of being the youngest player to win a match here at the U.S. Open in the men's draw, he also became the youngest to win the French Open.
I'm so amazed at the focus that Agassi has been able to maintain.
Why?
Because, you see patches of brilliance from Agassi sometimes, and then he'll sort of check out of a match. You don't feel like he can maintain his focus and play this sort of tennis, against someone like Chang, who's so resourceful. And he's really got Chang frazzled now. That's his second double fault. It's hard to rock Chang.
Great point now for Agassi.
These two don't live far from one another, because Agassi, of course, is from Vegas. Chang lives in Henderson, Nevada, about 20 minutes away from his favorite lake to fish in, Lake Mead. And it's just on the border of Las Vegas. Of course, Andre lives on the north side, near the Strip, and as Michael says, near the action. He doesn't get to Vegas much.
Agassi. And a 3-1 lead here in the second now. Budweiser's aerial ambassador, the Bud One airship, providing these beauty shots of New York for us today. A perfect day for that kind of photography. Beautiful day to be cruising around up there in the blimp. Agassi up a break here in the second.
Again, Chang trying to take over this match. Trying to impose himself on Agassi. Does a good job here with that pickup volley. Agassi's lob not high enough to be out of the range. Out of the reach of Chang.
Those topspin lobs are great when they work. Nobody talks too much about so many that come up short, like the first couple for Agassi have.
These two have both won one Grand Slam each. Of course, Agassi took Wimbledon, hasn't won anything since Michael Chang has won one Grand Slam. Agassi's coach now, Brad Gilbert, maintains that a guy as short as Michael Chang cannot win a Grand Slam any longer. He says, a guy 5'9", it's going to be tough to win a slam because all the athletes are so much bigger now. And in fact, Rod Laver was saying sort of the same thing in the piece we ran on him. What do you think about that, Tony? You think Brad's right?
Well, I think the fact that I mentioned earlier, too, that Michael Chang has had to work so hard on his own serve that when you play 7 3 out of 5 set matches in a Grand Slam, it takes so much out of you. It's very asking an awful lot. To this point, in this tournament, Chang has not had to work that hard, and that's to his advantage as far as his fitness is concerned, his durability.
So do you think, Tony, that said, do you think that Agassi has a better chance of winning another Grand Slam before his career's over than Chang?
Well, he's not that much bigger than Chang. He really weighs a little more. He's an inch or so taller. But, no one thought that Agassi could win on grass. He won Wimbledon. You think of Chang as a clay courter. Yet 11 out of his 18 titles are on hard courts.
40-30 from love 30 down. The ever modest Rod Laver likes to have only one distinction made, and that is that a Grand Slam means winning all 4 of those Grand Slam events in 1 year, as we see that.
Grand Slam title, we should call tournaments such as the U.S. Open.
We're talking about whether Chang can last and run out of gas, etc. The way Agassi's playing, endurance won't be a factor in this match if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
Agassi always talks. He's had a bunch of coaching changes of late. Pancho Seguro tried to work with him for a couple months. It didn't work well. Agassi says, I don't want to over-intellectualize, and Lord knows no one's ever accused him of that. Considered one of the headier players on the men's tour. Pancho Seguro just wanted Agassi to be more aware of the score all the time, so he'd play points better. A nice reaction from Michael Chang, scoops up the shot, forces the play for another break point. Hasn't had many. There's Seguro.
Pancho Seguro, one of the all-timers.
We have a break.
Michael Chang alive in the second set.
I had everybody come in on Saturday, and guess what? The server was down again. They couldn't do anything. They just weren't in the works.
Introducing the PC server. IBM reliability. Now for small business.
1 minute I'm telling myself to buy the best stuff. Next minute to save money. Buy the best, save money. Buy the best, save money. Buy the best, save money. Save money. I'm beginning to get on my nerves.
Why compromise when there's the affordable ThinkPad 360 from IBM?
An insurance company insures many things, but mostly it's there to ensure the quality of people's lives. And last year, backed by a $680 million investment from ITT Hartford helped 5 million people by paying for over $5 billion in personal and business losses, one person at a time. If you're looking for insurance, look to the insurance company of ITT. ITT, we're adding more than just our name.
There are many cars built safe enough, luxurious enough, and powerful enough to let you drive to the ends of the earth. But only one that makes you want to take the trip. Presenting the BMW 5 Series.
On the stadium court, not everybody is actually in here at the moment. It's lunchtime for some. Maybe they haven't got tickets on the big court to watch Chang and Agassi. Chang coming off a break, 15-love.
I really think that Chang should just start bending his serves in a little bit. He's only held twice in 6 tries. And I think once you develop a rhythm at a lower speed, then you can start going for more. Another missed serve. %, first serves. Premier returner. That's not going to do you any good at all.
I think also, Chang as we mentioned, has worked on his serve and has improved his serve some, but he's not a big server. He's never going to be a big server. It's like a singles hitter trying to hit home runs. All of a sudden he doesn't hit anything. You get to stay within yourself and do what you do best.
Talking about how Andre Agassi has switched coaches since March. He's been with Brad Gilbert. The thing about Agassi, I think, is that when he is fit, as he is now, he is smarter on the court because he doesn't try to go for so many goofy shots. He's fit enough to work a point. Makes him look smarter.
Agassi, don't know how he did that. This was a totally flat two-hander, which he never hits. He almost turned a racket face under that thing, and look how deep in the court, and he says, woof. Did I do that?
It's just been one big highlight film on Agassi today. He's moving so well, he's gobbling up the court. Taking the ball so early, just rushing Chang, who's one of the speediest guys around.
Chang is doing
inside
most of
the
the
baseline.
running.
Yeah, and look, Chang, he's taking control. Chang is behind the baseline. Agassi's a couple of feet in.
110 mile an hour.
That's what Chang hopes to get more of. 3 points, not just aces.
But when you miss your first serve, then you have to work much harder.
Advantage Agassi.
To the umpire. I didn't see or hear any call from the base linesman.
Even things, a 3-all here in the second. Crowd getting into it with him.
$114-mile-an-hour serve didn't worry Agassi at all.
Came back at 116. The ball's that high in relationship to your body. That's usually when they go the off shot. They come across the back of the ball, can hit it with more pace. When they try to pull it down the line, they get over the top of it and sometimes hit too much topspin on it.
Key hold from Michael Chang. 3-all's a lot better than being down a set in 4-2.
3-all. Don't forget a recap of all the day's matches. We'll come to you on U.S. Open late night following The Late Show with David Letterman. All the highlights, latest news here at the U.S. Open. Pat O'Brien, Harry Carrillo will be there all week long. Statistician Leo Levin tells us Michael Chang's unforced errors are now at 21. That's high for Chang, a fastidious player, and Agassi has only 11. It's reflected on the scoreboard in the match.
Agassi more and more the aggressor, playing harder inside the baseline. And he's pushing Chang farther back. You see those players take 3 balls like that, and they always give one back. They're looking for the 2 balls that have the least nap on them, roughed up, so they're going to serve faster, go faster. His only ace.
Agassi, 4 games to 3. It's set up. Agassi leads 4-3.
Chemistry is the practice of magic. People think of Teflon and they think of frying pans. Teflon is not one thing. Putting Teflon on a surface will stop bugs from crawling up trees. They'll fall right off the tree. Teflon is a chain lube. This is something I've come up with for bicycles. You know, only DuPont makes Teflon. And you can use it in satellites, on fabrics, or leather. When was the last time you heard about a leather raincoat? You can let your imagination run wild. It's not often that you get to make something new in this world.
Separates us and makes us different from all other living things. It's the desire for a chance, the one shining opportunity to see how high, how far we can go. Well, the people of United Airlines just got one of those chances. Today, the 54,000 men and women who built this airline now own this airline. Come fly out friendly skies.
You first met them on 48 Hours. If you thought their stories were remarkable then, wait till you see what they're doing now. An all-new 48 Hours Wednesday.
Just a moment ago on the grandstand, a frightening moment for Sergei Bruguera in the near court. Rory McKay.
Oh, he went down hard, Jimmy. You can see he grabs his groin here. It's the left upper thigh. A real bad spill, and Mooster jumped the net and came tearing over at this point. It did look real bad right here. He pats him on the head, and we're back underway again.
Back live, Bruguera. Back on his feet.
He already down a service break, though. He lost his serve in the very first game of this match over here.
We'll keep you posted on this match and send it back to the stadium now. Tim Ryan.
Thank you, Jim. Thomas Mooster, Sergei Bruguera, the winner of that meets the winner of this, where it's 4-3. Andre Agassi in the second set, 30-15, Michael Chang serving. Momentary loss of audio. I apologize for that. Well, we lost it in our booth. Apparently you folks out there were hearing the action on the court. That's good. We weren't. Michael Chang holds. 4-all here in the second set.
This was called wide and the chair overruled it. A good break for Chang. Agassi's arguing it.
Mistake. Ball was hit that slow. You think she missed it like that, huh? I know I didn't miss it.
Chair umpire.
He's getting a workout today.
Yes. He said, I didn't miss it. Michael Morrissey from England. 4-all, Agassi up a set and serving.
15-15.
House on this brilliant sunny afternoon, breezy down on the court. Has not appeared to be a problem for the players.
Certainly better playing conditions they had here yesterday.
13-15.
Agassi got away with one here. Trying that drop shot. Chang got to it comfortably.
Return to the paint. 40-30. Agassi hoping ace. Michael Morrissey says win.
Agassi. It's like the breeze is really picking up down there now.
Agassi holds. He leads 5-4 in the second change.
You can project light in any direction, but unless it's focused, you can't see clearly. That's why Infinity employed special projector beam headlights for the J30 to safely focus light where you need it. The J also has dual airbags, ABS, and seatbelt pretensioners, but you're less likely to need them if you see the light.
Take advantage of special Infinity lease rates now for a limited time.
I promise we'll love you a little more because you're the son we chose. A promise to teach you that being different also makes you special. A promise you can count on your family no matter what.
To help keep their promises, people rely on Mass Mutual to ensure their lives, their health, and their financial future. Mass Mutual, we help you keep your promises.
Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now, you can only get a can.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
We'll notice in the deuce court, Michael Chang's not serving any towards the body. Right in the middle, he's going either wide or down the center. And the same on the other side, right down the center, nothing. He's going for the corners, and it's not working for him. So maybe that's something he might think about doing.
Serving at 4-5 here in the second set, down a set. Good. That high. Missed everything. 5 games to 4. Agassi. Chang serving second set. Agassi rolled through the first. 15-love, Michael Chang.
You know the spectators want to see Chang win this set. They want more tennis. They don't want this to end real quickly. If you were going to serve to the Agassi body, I'd serve it tight into the forehand side because he needs a little more room to swing at that one. You can cramp a player on the two-handed side, they can still get that racket to the ball pretty easily. Taking that ball very, very early. See where he is inside the baseline. Watch him here. Racket ready early, right on the baseline, and just hammers it right into the corner. That takes a little talent. Agassi outguesses Chang here. 14-13. Chang takes Agassi wide. He thinks he's going to start for the backhand side. Instead, he just waited there and calmly, with the net cord help, hits it down the line for a winner.
Agassi's moving so well today, it's hard to get the ball behind him. Chang would love to have had that one back.
Yeah, he didn't try to come out of that corner because he knew he couldn't get the other way.
Chang holds on. Even things at 5-all. 5-all. In the grandstand court, Tomas Muster leading the number 3 seed Sergi Bruguera 3 games to 1. And Bruguera, we are told, does not seem to be bothered by that fall. Seemed to result in a groin injury of some kinds.
I don't think Andre Agassi has played this well since earlier this year, back in March at the Lipton, only his third tournament back after 5 months out with a wrist injury. He beat Becker there and Edberg before losing to Pete Sampras in a final that Agassi delayed an hour and a half because Sampras was having a bad stomach. Great gesture on Agassi's part because he didn't win anything.
Yeah, you don't hear enough of those kind of stories about the players. You hear about all the greed and how selfish they are. Tell you a little bit about what Michael Chang is doing down in Asia, too, to help underprivileged kids. Chang has a tennis academy down in Macau, and his brother helps run that. He runs it down there.
Long.
Also in Hong Kong the last 2 years, he runs a program called Stars for the Future for underprivileged kids in the Chinese housing project, which he funds himself. You just don't hear enough about that kind of stuff.
Agassi at 40-30. Trying to get to 6-5 here in the second. He's up a set.
He has really kept his concentration. He's done an awfully good job to this point.
And that is that. 6-5, Andre Agassi.
Agassi leads 6-5.
Oh, boss, meet Larry. He's new.
Say, Larry, hypothetical question. How would you send a big important shipment to a big important client in, say, Hong Kong?
FedEx?
Right. Say someone didn't use FedEx, and that big important shipment never got there. What would you call that someone, Larry?
Dope.
Right. Dope.
Big or small around the world, next time use FedEx.
I would have known you were the dope. I wouldn't.
I'm an inventor of one of the world's strongest fibers, Kevlar. I started the work in 1964. It proved to be a time of great joy, of frustration. We called it Fiber B. Kevlar is 5 times as strong as steel. It's used in ski racing, helmet, golf, tennis rackets, bullet-resistant vests. I'm still working for DuPont. Every day is a new learning experience.
I am made of blue sky and golden light, and I will feel this way forever.
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
Tim Ryan with Mary Carollo, Tony Trabert, where Michael Chang is trying to force a tiebreak in the second set. Serving at 5-6 and now up 15 love.
Starting to use the spin serve a little bit more in the first serve, going wide, trying to take Agassi out of court a little bit. A terrific cross court with a lot of pace by Agassi when Chang comes in. A little shorter volleying motion this time by Chang pays off. little more careful with it.
Another good serve to the same spot, Tony. And only 83 miles an hour. Paid off again, 40 love.
As Mary said earlier, you know, Agassi just loves speed, so this change of pace can help you sometimes.
Into the tiebreak in the second set.
And the first player to reach 7 points with at least a 2-point advantage will be the winner. Told you they want to see more tennis.
Well, the amazing thing is we've been going on and on about how great Agassi's been playing. A couple of points here and there, and we're dead even all of a sudden, and there's nothing between these two.
Agassi draws the first blood of the tiebreak. 2 serves coming to Michael Chang.
Tiebreak isn't even over yet, and set 2 is more than twice as long as set 1 was.
Yeah, 23 minutes for the first set.
Two nice points from Chang. Got the loose ball from Agassi and put it away with no problem at all.
Watch where the serve takes Agassi. He forced him to leave the court, and he has no way to recover for the next shot.
It takes a very good player in the last several years to beat Michael Chang. In '91, he played a remarkable match against Edberg and lost it, and played Edberg again the next year. Last year, Chang got beaten by Pete Sampras. So the last 3 years, the winner of the title had to beat Chang first.
The Chang collection likes that. 4-1 lead for Michael Chang. 2 serves upcoming. Got it.
Players change ends after 6 points. They're not supposed to stop and towel off or anything.
5 points to 1, Michael Chang.
And it is interesting because if Chang does prevail in this tiebreak, we're level to set apiece. He has not played his best tennis, and Agassi has played extremely well. Tenacious fighter.
3 errors from Agassi, unforced errors in this tiebreak. Not a good time for him.
Chang obviously thought he hit a winner. Here's another look at it down the line.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and that means that instead of having a fistful of set points, now they caught a piece of it. It's now 2-5 Agassi serving. Aim to the same place. That one got called in.
Here's another look. See how close this one is. Almost identical. That time Morrissey said, yes, it's good. He's got some set points, Chang.
6-3, Chang. We'll have the next two serves. Michael Chang trying to even things a set apiece. Stadium court. We'll return to the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.
If you think choosing pain reliever is a pain in the neck, save yourself some headaches and maybe some cash too. An all-new Eye to Eye with Connie Chung, Thursday. This is CBS.
They advertise this sofa and chair for $5.99. Rentown also sells it for $5.99, and this one too. But at Rentown, you get 120 days to pay, same as cash, or rent to own for $14.79 a week, with no credit needed, no credit check. This 5-piece bedroom is $5.99 in this one and this one too, with the same 120 days or $14.79 a week. Rentown also has the latest electronics and appliances. It's a new way to own at Rentown in Bristol, Middletown, Southington, Torrington, and Waterbury.
Hi, Bob Banner from Hart Nissan in Hartford. You remember Patrick. We're here today to show you the superb quality in our finely built Nissans here at Hart Nissan. Quality, 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 from our chassis to our doors. Built to stand abuse. Styling, fit and finish, designed for today's discretionary consumer. And we here at Hart Nissan check every component carefully for your comfort and convenience. Hart Nissan in Hartford. It's time to expect more from a dealer.
Storm Tracker, the Channel 3 New England Weather Service.
CBS Sports coverage of the U.S. Open, a USTA event, is sponsored by FedEx. For documents, packages, and freight worldwide, our most important package is yours. DuPont, better things for better living. And by Chanel Women's Fragrances, Elegant Chanel No. 5 and Provocative Cocoa.
Michael Chang changing his socks, and you can see he's got a little bit of a foot brace there around his ankle and arch, and looks like they're on both feet. Yes, they are indeed. And so he's got himself ready for set number 3. 1 hour and 23 minutes has elapsed. Somewhere back in there at near the end of the first set, I said I think we'll be here for a while. No reason to change my thinking on that. Even though that was a whirlwind effort by Agassi in the first set, rolling in 23 minutes to a 6-1 victory in that set.
You know, I think it's smart that a guy like Chang puts some support on those ankles, because he runs so much and puts such pressure when he has to stop and get back quickly. Sort of like basketball players that tape those ankles for games. It's good protection. You can see it on both ankles.
He opens the third set. Agassi skies it up after a deep penetrating shot from Michael Chang. On the grandstand, it's now 5-3. Tomas Muster leading the number 3 seeded Sergi Bruguera. First set.
Moo and Brew can be out there a while too.
I see. The winner from that match will meet the winner of this match in the quarterfinals.
Wasn't Andre Agassi up 6-1, 3-1 about half an hour ago?
Yes,
sure was.
I think that's about right.
Chang broke back for 2-3. It'll be interesting to watch Agassi now to see if he can maintain the sharpness that he's had in the first two sets. If he starts to get a little leg weary, his precision can go by the boards a little bit.
Pretty offhand way to end the point.
That's 15.
First serve percentage still pretty low for Chang, getting closer to 50%.
Yeah, it was down to 31%. It's up quite a bit.
The interesting thing is both these guys are getting hammered when they miss their first serve. Agassi as well as Chang. Agassi obviously not missing as many. But the point is, if you're going to have a bad serving day, don't do it against either one of these guys.
The two-hander down the line for both players seems to catch the other one by surprise, because being a rotation kind of a shot, you expect it to go cross-court. So when they can just hit it with pace down the line, it's normally very effective. Watch the bounce on this one.
Again with tremendous depth. This hit.
About that call, but he took a second look. Well, that was close. It might have caught in the outside edge.
Agassi. A one-love lead here in the third set.
There are many cars built safe enough, luxurious enough, and powerful enough to let you drive to the ends of the earth. But only one that makes you want to take the trip. Presenting the BMW 5 Series.
Whoever said, into each life some rain must fall, never lived under our shingles. Owens Corning. We make the difference.
The boss thinks I'm a klutz. My cat is going bald, and my daughter wants a tattoo. At least I'm not having any trouble backing up my hard drive.
What I want is a computer that I could upgrade. I could bump up the megs, switch the local bus, upgrade to a Pentium chip. Life would be good.
Introducing the upgradable Value Point Performance Series from IBM.
If
Men weren't meant to fly. They wouldn't have put our Advantex fiber in skis. Owens Corning. We make the difference.
You've never met a sister-in-law like Vivian.
She's all stuck-up prude from Indiana. No offense, honey. None taken. White trash.
Premieres Saturday, September 24th.
Andre Agassi serving with a break here in the third set. A set apiece against Michael Chang. Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo and Tony Traber on the stadium court. Whoa! 15 love, second serve. Chang forcing him to throw one up.
And it's a good idea on such a windy day to really hoist that thing up in the air. Hope the wind moves it around the court and bothers your opponent.
Trouble is when they get up that high now, in a day like this, you can't judge it all. You can't control if it stays in the court or not.
Still, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they could wind up in row 22 on this win. Tomas Muster has won the first set over Sergio Bruguera. Down a game in the second. Yes.
Watch this precision by Agassi. He gets over there, he gets that racket back, and again, that top hand enables him to get that racket head through, and he's right on the baseline. Unfortunately, at home, you don't appreciate how fast these players are hitting this ball. They have tremendous pace on it.
Well, we see the service MPHs. What's your estimate on one of those Agassi ground strokes? When he's really letting it hang out.
Every bit as big, I think.
Agassi holds.
Chang is not opening up this third set well at all. Already broken into and with a bunch of unforced errors. Agassi played such a clean first set. Remember, we said he'd only had 3 unforced. He had 17 in that second set. Now he's back to keeping it clean again. Getting there early enough so that when he pounds it, he's got good range.
Good serve from Chang. That's not too bad. Chang didn't like that call.
Again, the sidelinesman signal is good. Just watch it. Watch where it hits. Oh, it's long. It wasn't wide, but it might have been long, if anything.
And it was an overroll. 40 love, Chang. Michael Chang down 2 games to 1 here in the third set.